The sky was painted in hues of twilight as we trudged deeper into the woods. The air was crisp, and the ground beneath our feet crunched with each step. It was just me, Jake, and Emily, out for an evening adventure. The forest was our playground, a place we often explored, but tonight felt different. There was an eerie stillness, a quiet that seemed to hang in the air like a thick fog. "Did you hear that?" Jake asked, stopping abruptly. We all froze, straining our ears. At first, there was nothing, just the sound of our own breathing. But then, faintly, there it was, a whispering, almost like a chorus of voices blending into the wind. "It's probably just the wind," Emily said, trying to sound confident, but I could see the unease in her eyes. We pressed on, curiosity driving us forward despite the growing tension. We were about to turn back when we stumbled upon a clearing. In the center of the clearing stood an old, dilapidated cabin. It looked like it had been abandoned for years, but there was a light flickering in one of the windows. We exchanged glances, a mixture of fear and intrigue. Against our better judgment, we decided to investigate. On the table, there was an old leather-bound book. The whispers seemed to emanate from it. Emily stepped forward and reached out to touch the book, but as her fingers brushed the cover, the candle extinguished, plunging us into darkness. We turned to leave, but the door slammed shut, trapping us inside. My heart raced as we banged on the door, but it wouldn't budge. Then, out of nowhere, a cold hand grabbed my shoulder. I screamed, spinning around to find myself face to face with. But before I could say anything more, a voice echoed through the cabin. "Leave this place," it said, clear and commanding. "You do not belong here." We looked around frantically, but there was no one else in the room. The door suddenly flew open and we didn't need any more convincing. The cabin was gone. In its place was just an expanse of trees, as if it had never been there. "What the hell just happened?" Jake panted, hands on his knees. "I don't know," I replied, still catching my breath. "But let's never come back here." Emily nodded in agreement, but just as we were about to leave, she pulled something out of her pocket. It was the leather-bound book from the cabin. "I don't know how, but this was in my bag," she said, her voice trembling. Back in the safety of my home, I couldn't shake off the sense of unease. The mysterious events in the woods replayed in my mind, and the sight of the leather-bound book on my desk only heightened my anxiety. Emily had insisted on bringing it home, despite our shared fears. The book sat there, untouched, as if daring me to open it. It was old, its cover worn and the pages yellowed with age. There were no markings to indicate its origin, and I couldn't recall seeing anything like it before. The whispers had ceased the moment we left the woods, but a strange energy seemed to emanate from the book, like a heartbeat in the dead of night. As we continued to read, we found references to a group called the Keepers of the Forest. According to the book, they were guardians of an ancient power hidden deep within the woods. The cabin was their sanctuary, a place where they performed rituals to protect the forest and keep its secrets safe. It says here that those who disturb the sanctuary will be marked. They'll carry the curse with them until they return what they've taken. It says here that the curse can be lifted by performing a ritual of atonement at the forest's heart. Emily, the forest's heart? Jake, what does that mean? I think it means the center of the forest, Jake suggested. After what felt like hours, we arrived at a clearing unlike any we had seen before. In the center stood an ancient gnarled tree, its roots twisting and turning in every direction. The air was thick with an almost palpable energy, and we knew we had found the heart of the forest. "This has to be it," Emily said, her voice hushed in awe. As we recited the incantation, the air around us seemed to hum with energy. The whispers grew into a cacophony, filling our ears and minds, but we pressed on, determined to see the ritual through. The ground beneath us trembled, and the tree's roots seemed to pulse with life. A bright light emanated from the book, enveloping the clearing in a warm glow. The whispers reached a fever pitch, and then, suddenly everything went silent. The light faded, and we found ourselves standing in the clearing, the book now closed and still. The air felt lighter, and the oppressive energy that had surrounded us was gone. Did it work? We agreed, and after some deliberation, we decided to bury the book deep in the forest, far from where anyone might stumble upon it. We hoped this would ensure that the secrets and dangers it held would remain buried. As we covered the book with earth and leaves, we felt a sense of closure. The forest had released us, and the curse was broken. Years later, the memory of those events still lingered, but the fear had faded. The forest remained a place of mystery, but we no longer felt its malevolent presence. We had faced the unknown and emerged stronger, bound by an experience that had changed us forever. And as for the book, it remained hidden, a secret of the forest, waiting for the day it might be unearthed again by those curious or foolish enough to seek it out.